Hi there, my name is Tiffany, and I want to share a little bit about my grieving process. I recently lost my father about a month ago, and it's been a really intense process for me. He passed away suddenly, and I've been experiencing all the things that you experience related to losing someone. It's been a shock and a lot of emotions, a lot of intense feelings of anger and frustration. And I recognize that through this process, I really don't think our society talks much about it. At least I haven't had many conversations with people about it. And I wanted to share my insights and my experience with this process so that maybe others can gain a little bit more insight for themselves, or at least feel that they're not alone, as they also may experience a loss. In fact, of course, we all will. And that's why I think it's so important that our society becomes more open and just thoughtful about how we grieve and also how we support others with grieving. So I'll share my insights over maybe a few videos, and I think that the first insight that I want to share is about my experience with those in my life who maybe aren't comfortable. They're afraid with death, and they're afraid of watching someone go through the grieving process. And the hardest part of this for me has been knowing that people are so afraid to talk to me that because they don't want to hurt my feelings or they don't want to make me upset, that they leave me alone and they don't really say anything. And it's so interesting to me because I really do believe that everybody, while they may grieve differently, everybody needs support. And part of the process, I think, of evolving as a culture with grief is learning what it might take to support each person as they go through it. And for some, like for me, I'm very verbal with my grief. I process it out loud. I let people know how I feel from day to day, and I let them know what kind of support I need. Not that I articulate it perfectly, but I'm really able to express myself. And I know that some people aren't able to express themselves, and I think that what we have to get better at is learning what we need to offer if we're wanting to support someone who's grieving, what we need to offer to let them know that we care about them, let them know that we support them. And in my experience with colleagues or with friends or even family members, sometimes they have just left me by myself, again, because they don't want to upset me. And that has actually made things harder for me and sometimes really frustrating. And what I know I've expressed to people is that just reach out, even if it's a text, even if you just send me a heart emoji, I don't care, a cat emoji, let me know you're thinking of me. That's all you really have to do. And you don't have to be a counselor. You don't have to even ask me how I'm doing. I mean, it's fine to ask how I'm doing, but I think if you're going to do that, it's best to really make sure it's coming across as sincere and genuine, and that you do actually want to hear how the person is doing. But if it's more of like a empty, just kind of generic question, I'd say just forget that question. And again, at the very, very least, let the person know that you care about them and that you're thinking of them. And that will do it. Someone will hear that and they will receive that, even if they are in a place where they're upset and they can't communicate their feelings or what they need. So that's the first insight that I want to share. I've learned that supporting someone who's grieving is so important. And again, I think people are afraid because of how uncomfortable it makes them feel watching someone go through this process. And what we have to do is, if we really care about someone, we just have to kind of pierce through that fear and find a way to support them. And again, it doesn't have to be a counseling session. You don't even have to really ask them a lot of questions or any questions. I think just simply letting them know that you care about them and that you're thinking of them will do what they need you to do. So that's one insight, and I hope that I can share more. And again, hopefully this sharing of my experience will be of benefit to people who feel alone as they're going through this process, and for those who maybe don't know how to support or don't know what it's like to watch someone go through a grieving process, this maybe can be of some use and some benefit. That's my hope. And lastly, I'll just acknowledge that grief can be about so many life experiences. It's not just about death. It can be related to the end of a relationship, and related to the loss of a pet, of course. So for me, this really serves as an articulation of what it looks like, in my opinion, to become a society, a culture where we are comfortable and happy to support others who are going through tough times in life. And since those tough challenges and tough experiences happen to everybody, we might as well just get better and more comfortable with dealing with them. All right, well, next time I will share another insight, and I hope that this has been of some use. Thank you.